I wanted to touch base with you and show you a little bit about citing versus quoting. A lot of times people use those words interchangeably, but they actually mean something different. And I wanted to show you how in APA style you need to make sure that you're doing things differently. So the first thing that I want to address is a direct quote. So a direct quote is when you copy or paste something from a source. It is called directly quoted. You use quotation marks and give an in-text citation immediately after the quote. So for example, I don't believe in Beatles, I just believe in me, Yoko and me, and that's reality. It's cited immediately. John Lennon, it just says Lennon, 1970. That's the year that he wrote it, and that's his last name. It's a direct quote. Or you could say Lennon, 1970, wrote, and then do the quote that way. Either way, this way, you're including Lennon in the text, and the other one, you're not including him in the text. That's the difference between them, but that is a direct quote. Anytime you do a direct quote, the citation should come immediately before or immediately after the direct quote in one of these two ways. Another option is paraphrasing. That's when you take someone else's ideas and say them in your own voice. So in his song God, John Lennon addressed what was important to him by listing a variety of things in which he did not believe. Or the song God on the eponymous album, John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band, deals with a number of things the singer is willing to believe. Okay. Lennon, 1970. In both of those cases, that is my words, but I'm paraphrasing what the song God is about. So I'm still having to give John Lennon credit because he still wrote the song. I'm not quoting him, but I'm still citing him. Both things still need a citation. Whether we paraphrase or whether we quote directly, you need a citation. Now, summarizing is a lot like paraphrasing, but where it takes other information and puts it all together. So, in 1970, just a few months after the Beatles officially broke up, John Lennon and his wife Yoko Ono created the Plastic Ono Band and released an eponymous album. This album was completed shortly after John finished his Scream therapy. It includes many songs that deal with his personal issues, including Mother and God. The citation is a gentleman called Sam Shukuri, who put together a Bagism website. Notice that all of that is paraphrased from Mr. Shukuri. It's summarized by me. None of this information is directly quoted from his website, but I'm still giving him credit. Now, if I wanted to add a comment after that and say, Mother and God are considered two of Lennon's solo songs that are considered great or whatever, if I wanted to put a running commentary after that, I would put it immediately after the citation here. Okay, but this is all paraphrased, it's summarized, and it's cited. And then if I wanted to speak in my own voice commenting on this, it would come after this. Okay? Now, common knowledge. What is common knowledge? That is generally something that is understood by the vast majority of your audience knows it to be true. So I've given 4 examples here. John Lennon was in the rock band The Beatles. That's common knowledge. If you wrote that in a paper, one would assume the vast majority of people know that to be true and you don't need to cite it. John Lennon's mother, Julie, by an off-duty police officer. That's not common knowledge. To a Beatle nerd like me, I knew that. But most people aren't Beatle nerds and thus don't know that, so it must be cited. John Lennon was married to Yoko Ono. That's common knowledge, I believe, in the pop culture world. One would just assume that that's something people know who know anything about music, so that's probably okay. John Lennon pretended not to be married when he first came to America because his manager, Brian Epstein, thought it would help with the younger female fans. That's a citation from the Cynthia Lennon webpage. That's not, he was married to a woman called Cynthia. That's all true. Again, Beatle nerd knows that. The majority of people don't know that, so therefore it must be cited. One is common knowledge and one is not. If you are unsure, just go ahead and cite it. Make sure you always do it. Regardless of what you are doing, if you are summarizing, paraphrasing, quoting, or giving information that is not common knowledge, cite it. If you are unsure, cite it. It's always better to have cited something you didn't need to than to not cite something that you should have. And now here's the reference page. Notice it's in alphabetical order, not in order that it appeared in the PowerPoint. Each of these can be tied back to something in my presentation. If it's in your presentation, if it's in your paper, it must be on the reference page. I hope that you found this helpful.